Do you think it's over for Morant?
No, hell no. He got too much talent.
He's fine.
I think it's over for him.
I don't.
It's a
I don't
business
think
move.
so.
It's a business move.
Let's be honest.
There's been worse done in the NBA.
I mean, Kobe.
It depends on what it depends on what you're saying over. I don't think.
What do you mean by over?
I don't think that this is the end. I don't think that he's done making quote unquote mistakes. And I think that we're going to still be having this conversation a year from now, 2 years from now. And I think he's going to fumble the bag and he's going to fumble his legacy. And what he should have been is going to be completely different than what he's going to turn out to be.
How old is he?
That's what I mean by over.
I think he's like 23.
23.
I mean, he made the same mistake
mistakes.
Ago, though. Yeah. I'm confused. He made the same mistake 2 months ago.
You know how many women I know with 3 kids and 3 different baby dads?
Yeah, they make mistakes. You know what I mean?
Mistakes, baby.
Yeah.
So do you think he should be reprimanded even further? Because his first time he got suspended 8 games.
100% he needs to be represented further.
Definitely.
Completely. Next season he shouldn't play no game.
I don't know about that. But I'm just keeping it. If he was part of my organization and you basically, because I'm sure behind the scenes they had conversations, they maybe even had some type of agreement on how you're going to carry yourself outside. And if you broke that agreement, this is a business. I don't care what you got going on.
Yeah.
So there's no feelings in business. Mm-hmm. So get your and do X, Y, and Z. Now you do know if he leaves the Grizzlies, they probably are going to be bad like they used to be for many years. So you have to do something to try to retain him in some type of matter. So get him a mentor, trade in for a strong veteran. I mean, there's things you can do in order to try to, salvage what's going on. I will keep his father away. I will ban all of his friends. I would do.
He gonna ban his grown man friends? NBA.
I mean, you remember Pac-Man Jones? Well, Jerry Jones told him. He said, "I'm gonna hire this person, and he's gonna follow you around everywhere. Mm-hmm. And if you want this money, it's gonna be tied into your contract. He's gonna follow you around. You can't be around your homies. Mm-hmm. You can't be at no clubs. You got a curfew. All these things. Look, these is multi-million-dollar. You are the property of the Memphis Grizzlies. Mm-hmm. Don't think because you got a little you got a little game. You're not property of. You have to continue to do business like you're supposed to do. So at the end of the day, if it's called sacrifice, the losers around, keep your dad, because obviously your daddy's not a gay influence.
Right, I was about to say that. Where's his pops at?
Yeah,
his pops
failed.
Yeah, his pop is high-fiving out there. But if your child really respects you, one mistake is fine, but 2 mistakes is saying this is a habit. This is being
y'all call them the mistakes, but y'all what we tend to forget is he ain't did nothing illegal.
That's what I was talking. I said
that's not the point though.
That ain't the point. I hold on now. I gotta throw him just a little rope. Y'all saying his pops has failed.
Yes,
but he ain't done nothing illegal.
He hasn't done nothing illegal, but
violating company rule.
That's what we're talking about. We're not saying he did anything
illegal. It's like Stephen A. Smith always said, you just stay off the weed. It ain't it's legal, but you can't do it.
His job was to put a productive citizen out there, and this is done it.
And he didn't do that. He's not a productive citizen.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Because if he's a productive citizen, he just go to work and do his work.
He's a productive citizen. He ain't doing nothing illegal.
No, he didn't do anything. He's a representation of his father's mother's name. So what he's doing is he's showing that his father, because if you your name,
not true. That's not true.
Your son has to be a representation of you.
That's not true.
No, it is true. Do you have? I don't know if you have your dad.
What did he do?
I have my. Okay, check this out. Like I'm gonna put my business in the street. My dad is a preacher and he's a cop, and I've done the worst against both of those, and my dad didn't teach me none of it.
So you're disrespectful.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Call what you want.
Let me ask a question because I was having this conversation with somebody earlier.
Weak.
Did he break any rules regarding the NBA? Yes or no? That's in his contract.
100%.
He did.
Done. They can't show
under conduct detrimental. It's like a ride ranger. You just can't do stupid.
Well, he was brandishing a weapon, and more importantly, he had a meeting with Adam Silver, in which he told him that he wouldn't be doing this bullshit again, and he came back and he did the same thing.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the video, even his homies knew that he was up, and his homie tried to hurry up and pull the cell phone back when he was doing it. His homie knew he was up.
But that's another thing, man. Your homies, them ain't your homies, dog. You got to protect the bag in the crew, dog. Everybody know that this is the guy right now. Hey, man, I'm gonna protect you from yourself. So you know, dog. Give me the gun. You can't be carrying nobody's gun, dog. Get up out of here. You know what I mean? And that is what I'm saying. Like that's how you know. I don't know if it's just being reckless, but they definitely are not really from the streets. Like I know they may be.
I don't think that we can hold his homies accountable.
You can't.
I don't think it has.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. You're right.
But honestly,
I don't think that you can hold his father accouable. I don't think that you can be any of
You gotta hold him accountable.
He wasn't doing it when he was an adolescent.
The only way you can hold his father accountable is if he was a minor. Because every last one of us on this panel, regardless of how well we was raised or how bad, we was raised, all of us have done something at some point in our life.
Yeah.
Every last one of us.
Yeah.
But you can't necessarily put that on your parents because your parents can rear you. But the goal of the parent is to put into you the thing that you ultimately come back to. That's why I say raise up a child in an admonition of the Lord, and he'll never depart from it. The whole idea of it, and I ain't gonna get religious or nothing, but the whole idea of it is that we go through, we fail, we make mistakes, we sometimes it's self-inflicted, so on and so forth. But ultimately, it's the thing that you're supposed to come back to because you have a foundation, you have a strong structure. But you get influenced by different things that happen in your life. And so you can't hold his father accountable, because if that's the case, if his father is the framework by which we gonna judge this whole conversation, then what happens if LeBron was to fail the same way? Who is it that we hold accountable for his failures?
Not his mama.
not his wife either.
Who?
Because we don't do that. We don't hold the women accountable.
They're gonna blame the dad for not being there. That's what they do. They blame the dad that's not there.
No. So I'm going based upon age. He's 23 years old. So hold on. He's an older. No, he's a young man. He's not he's a grown man. No. I'd say maturity comes with the grown man. He's not being mature. This guy is a young man.
Get 2 college degrees by 23.
You can get all the college degrees in the world, but that don't change the fact that you're immature. He is an immature young man. And what I'm saying to you is, legally in California, I don't know about the country, he can still be on his family's benefits, like to keep it a band. So that tells you that he is still under his father's a watch. What I'm saying is, if he was 30, 35 years old in that range, come on, man. Like, of course, he's a grown man making these decisions. That young man, because I got a son that age. That's what I'm saying. My son is very influenced by his father. And he calls me for a lot of big decisions, a lot of things. But he also makes some on his own. He's gonna fail. But ultimately, you cannot dishonor the last name I gave you.
Period.
The question I have. The question I have. So how your son is in his 20s?
21. Yeah.
My son's 23.
If he goes out and he fucks up and he does something egregious, should they hold you accountable for that?
No, I mean verbally, because I didn't do it.
Verbally?
Verbally. They're gonna say, "Hey, man, you need your child. Your child is out here tripping."
No, right. They hold you accountable for what it is that your son do if he up something egregious.
Oh man, of course he's a grown man, legally, but mentally he's not a mature man.
No, but are they going to hold you responsible? 1950. If
no, they're not going to
rob a bank, should they?
No, they're not going to hold. They're not going to hold me responsible.
No,
but they're going to
hold you responsible. Yes or no? Is it your fault he robbed the bank? So how is it father's fault that he wanted to wave a gun around? It's not.
No, what I'm saying is the influence of a father should be strong in a young man's life in order for him to understand he should not dishonor the family. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with our culture. If this was Israel, let me tell you something. Again, they're not playing with their kids.
Yes.
And I don't give a damn if you 25, 28, 30 years old, you are not going to be disrespecting this family. It will come for your head.
Yes. We can't compare to other cultures because we don't.
We're talking about the culture of a man. Again, I understand you can mess up, but I'm saying that the father, the name you are representing, when you go out that door, the father's saying you're representing us as a unit in a whole, and what you do is going to have effect on my name, showing that I'm not doing what I need to do as a father. Yes, kids mess up. I agree with that, but I'm not talking about rob a bank. Because if my son robbed a bank, I would say throw the book at that mother, put him under the guy. I don't give a fuck about him, because if I tell him don't do that, he do it anyway. Fuck him. That's what the name is.
But you still miss. Hold on, Q. You missed the main point though.
What's the point?
Should you be held accountable for if your son robs the bank?
They're gonna throw the book at you too. Are you ready for that?
In any way, shape, or form?
No, they're not going to throw the book at him.
Nope. Hold on. Let him answer. Should you be held accountable for if your son robs a bank?
You're not going to. The father will not be held accountable.
No. Not will he be held accountable. Should you be held accountable?
Your eyes.
But see, you're trying to move the goal. I'm talking to see.
I'm not. This is what y'all said. This is the premise of y'all argument in the very beginning. Y'all said that we should that the father should be held accountable as a result of his decisions, and then y'all substantiated that argument by saying that you can stay on your father's benefits until 26.
Yeah, but I think you need to describe what you mean by accountable. If you're talking about legally accountable, no.
No,
but if you talk about
where y'all going by, let's figure out what the metric.
Because hey, so let me say this. Let me say this. If my child was 20 something years old, he murdered somebody.
Right.
When I see that family, I would apologize on my son's behalf to them. Exactly. And they're going to say whatever. No, but what I'm saying is, at that point, they can say you could have raised your son better. You put your son in a situation.
Right.
That is, and I'm going to take that on the chin. Because you know what?
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
This is what I'm saying.
Hold on. Because words mean things. So you can't use the word accountable and then you move the goalpost and saying that you're feeling sorry. Being sorry for something and being cussed out is not being held accountable. Being held accountable means that you have to pay for the sins of what somebody else is doing. Listen,
we're all paying. You murdered somebody?
Wait, hold on, Anton. What is a Daniels to you? Because let me ask, because for some reason you don't understand the power of your name. If you are going to let people slide and don't feel that you as a man, now legally you're right, he's not accountable. But what is a Daniels? I know what a Williams is, and I'm telling you this much: any of my kids do any kind of that silly, they're out. I don't play that.
What that don't have nothing to do with what we talking about.
Oh my God!
Y'all move the goalposts in order to substantiate your argument, but the reality is, again, words mean things, and to hold somebody accountable is completely different from what y'all are talking about. Y'all not talking about that. Now, if y'all want to change it and mean something else, or y'all want to go over to the next point, that's one thing. But you can't say hold somebody. You know what's so funny? They basically describing to me how you can't hold the parent accountable for what it is that the kid did. But then in the previous conversation, they telling us how you also can't hold the woman accountable for what it is.
That's two different things. That's two different things.
Everybody off the hook. Y'all niggas letting everybody off the hook.
It's two different things. The first situation is with a woman.
Basically, what you're describing to me is that it's okay for a man to be sorry.
So we're all black. We're all black.
It doesn't really mean anything to hold somebody accountable.
Well, we understand what home training is, right? Have you ever heard us say, "Hey, bro, you ain't got no home training"?
What does that mean?
You know what that is? No. What that means is that they expect your parents to have some type of standard for you to live your life. So
and what happens? No. And what happens when they don't?
If you're flashing guns, you're making the family look bad. Ja Morant,
what happens when you don't?
His last name is Morant.
What happens when you make the family look bad? Then what happens?
It's shameful. It's embarrassing.
That's not true.
And guess what?
There's a reason people say your parents didn't teach you that way. It's not always the fact.
It's shameful.
Listen.
Say it all the time. I know you weren't raised that way.
Let's be real. In 2023, nobody gives a about shame.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do. I care. No.
Let's be clear. Let's be very, very clear. Shame is out the window.
Nope.
Nobody gives about shame, and shame has nothing to do with being held accountable.